And hello, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Spirit, where mystical encounters and practical wisdom converge in absolute harmony. Each week, I ask special guests to join me to discuss stimulating spiritual topics and offer readings. So, welcome in, you guys. I am super excited to be here with you, especially for today. Um, I am so excited because I have a very, very special guest. Tonight's special guest is someone really, really important to me. He has been a mentor to me for many years, and he was actually, and Ed, you might not even know this, but he was actually the first person that explained to me that I was indeed actually a medium. Ed Torres is an incredible psychic medium, Reiki master, and teacher, and he has worked alongside some of the best mediums on the planet. And I'm also proud to call him my friend. So, welcome in, Ed. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm very good, Lori. Thank you. This is a
Yay!
wonderful opportunity for us to just chat
I
about things we love.
I know. Oh my gosh! And it's like when I don't see you for a couple of days. For those of you that don't know, of course, probably most of you don't know. Ed is actually my next door neighbor, and I mean, if that isn't spirit working miracles for us, it amazes me. It's amazing, right? So yeah, it's really kind of cool, our story about how we met, and about all of our, gosh, it's been a number of years. It's been a lot of years, actually, that we've been doing stuff together. So
Very true.
so
Very
I've
true.
had other shows, and Ed and I was doing shows together. It was like, back in the day when you had to have 65 different things going on. So it's a lot of fun. So thank you for being here, Ed.
You're very
Welcome
welcome, Lori.
in.
Gosh.
Welcome in. So we are live, just so everybody knows, we're live on two YouTube channels, a Facebook channel, and my Instagram channel. So pardon me while I balance it all. So I'm super excited. Really exciting also that we've got Melanie here, we've got Allison, and we've got Sarah here, and Buddha blessings, and be blissfully balanced. So what we're going to do is, and they're going to talk for a little bit, and then we will be taking questions. If you have, we're going to give readings a little bit later, but if anybody has any questions for Ed or for me, bring it up. Like let us know, because that's what these are about. These conversations with spirit are about us talking to you guys as well. So Ed, and I was just telling you before we went live that I don't know that I know the story of how you realized that you were a medium or a psychic or whatever. So how did
Okay.
it like manifest for you? How did it come to play?
It's different for everybody, so I can only offer my story.
Sure.
Some people are born with it, some people, it comes to them later on. And that was my story. I had wife, family, work, obligations, and later on in life is when I started opening up to this. And that's also when you start realizing all the little nuances that happened to you when you were a youngster. When I was really young, going through elementary and high school, I was very drawn to the church. And I spent many weekends during the week also just going to church and praying. My wife's from back east, and so every time we would go back east, or anywhere actually, when we would travel, I'd always have to find a church. And so again, that was my way of connecting, and I didn't realize it back then. But the energy in locations that gets implanted, that grows from people connecting with spirit, is very real. And this is where I felt it. I felt it the most, and I felt most comfortable. So later on in life, when unfortunately, we all experience, but we experienced a lot of, my wife and I experienced a lot of people passing who are very close to us, and it was like a light switch went on, and I just felt so drawn then to find a way to reach out and connect, and that's what I did. And since then, it's been a lifelong journey to make those connections stronger and share those connections with others.
That's amazing. That is so
Yeah.
amazing. So, who was like you were my first teacher. You were, you know? So, who was your first teacher? Like, who did like, how did you like, did somebody just kinda tell you, "Oh, I think you have something going on," or like, how did it
Well, we reached out to a local medium here, and so it needed to be real, and that's
Yeah,
what happened. We had it. We walked in, and we spent about an hour. It was very comforting. From
yeah,
there, they suggested that I go to a class with a gentleman from England named Robert Brown, and so
yeah,
Robert really has been my true mentor from day one, and
yeah,
spent many trips to the Bahamas, many trips to different locations here in Southern California, just to learn from him and to experience what he knows, and
yeah,
to kind of pirate what he knows to offer it to others. So
yeah. And
yeah,
you've done work with him as well. Like, he's like, when correct me if I'm wrong, but when he did his used to do his big thing in the Bahamas, he would
mhm.
have you, like, teaching too, didn't he?
It was a real honor. Yes, he had offered me an opportunity to both do readings on an evening with the other mediums and to offer training.
Mhm.
Basically, it's development circle training to the new up and coming personnel in the groups. And so,
Yeah.
yes, I actually spent some time training some of the people for him. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is
Hmm.
so amazing. He
Hmm.
is such a beautiful soul, you know, a really, really nice man. I've only met him a few times too. We were talking about before we went live, we were talking about Mama Ellie in
Mm.
is it Mississippi or Tennessee?
Yes,
Tennessee.
yes,
And
Mississippi.
how sad it is that she passed, and because I was super excited to get to know her, you know? And then
I know.
unfortunately, but what's so great is that, and you know this from our development circles, anytime you even mention her name, she comes in because she's so willing to help from the other side, you know? And I just love that. In fact, here she is. She's right. You know, she's hanging out with us right here. You know, she's absolutely amazing. But
I know.
how did you get to meet her? Was that through Robert
Well,
as well? Or
yes, that's another funny story. Robert used to bring a lot of his professional people with him to everywhere he went. And so one day I was at the Virginia Beach retreat with him. He had John Edwards there, and he had a whole slew of people there. And so I got to meet Mama Ellie um, back in the Bahamas when we were gone. We went there. I got to meet Mama Ellie, and it was just a casual, casual acquaintance until she really reached out to me, and she really pulled me in. And so this is she really truly was our mama. She was
yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
Um,
that's so cool.
yes, and so she had she was a trance medium, trance channel, and so she would have a weekend retreat there in Mississippi. I started going to her retreats. I would, you can't miss them. They're just so beautiful. I mean,
Mhm.
Lord, imagine mediums from all over the place, psychics from all over the place, healers from all over the place, just coming in, and you get a weekend of just helping each other, just
Yeah,
offering for free
yeah,
anything and everything. It's just amazing. I've never
yeah,
experienced it other than there at that place.
yeah. Oh, that is
Mhm.
so cool. That is so cool. By the way, we have Debbie Miller says, "So good to see you too. I used to attend your development circle every now and then when I lived in SoCal. And each of you opened me up to the fact that I might also be able to do this. I miss your circle
Aw,
and miss having a place to work." So it's really is, spirit. I been doing this a while, right? And it just never ceases to amaze me. Right before we went live, Ed and I were talking about how, he has a development circle, and online and in person. So,
yeah.
Debbie, if you're interested in being part, reach out to me. I'll put you in, or you may already even have Ed's information. So, yeah, reach out and we'll see if we can connect, and you can,
Yes.
yeah. Isn't that amazing? That is so funny. There are no accidents.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are no accidents.
COVID was a strange beast in so many ways. I mean, we used to have 20, 30 people here while we would be practicing in the development circles. And it stopped. Everything stopped because of COVID. But it also opened up opportunities to offer these classes online. And I've been doing it since, online and here at the house. So those that are local are more than welcome to get a hold of Lori, and she can reach out to me. And those that are in different parts of the country, please. Wednesday evenings we have our online class, and it's open to people who would like to invest time and effort into opening up and connecting with spirit. So.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, it's so funny because over the years, I've seen it be as huge as 25 mediums in the same place. Can you
I
guys
know.
imagine? Like, and I'm not exaggerating am I exaggerating when I say 25
No,
mediums in the
no,
same
it
place?
was.
We would be, Ed has this beautifully sort of amazing space for us. We would all be in the same place. There'd be 25 of us, and then
Mhm.
other times there would be maybe 5 of us. And so you get the dynamics all the way around. Like you get the dynamics of having a lot of people reading you, and then get the dynamic of having just a few people, to read and stuff. And it's really exciting. So, oh, good, Debbie. Debbie says I do have Ed's info and possibly mine
Yes,
too. So there you go. That's great. That is
wonderful.
so much fun. So much fun. I just, I'm gonna sound like I'm fangirling you. Um, you first of all, when I was first starting out, you really you made yourself available to me for questions. And that was my biggest thing,
Mhm.
at the beginning because I didn't know. And in fact, I was just telling this story the other day that I didn't think that I was a medium. I didn't because I had heard of what clairvoyance was, and I thought that clairvoyance was solely seeing complete apparitions of spirits. Like I thought you had to be a clairvoyant, you had to see a full-on spirit standing in front of you. And it's not like that at all, right? And so those types of questions are what you answered for me.
Mhm.
I mean, just all the beginning type questions. And I will be forever grateful because I am such a different person today because I get to work with spirit. I know that sounds silly, but I'm so blessed that I get to do this work. So yeah, so I'm fangirling a little bit, just super
Well,
impressive.
and
Super impressed
look
with
what.
you.
Oh, thank you, Laurie. Appreciate that. But look what you've done. I mean, you have taken your roots and you've planted them deep into the spirit world. You've opened up you opened up your heart and your soul to the public in a very quick way. You've written a book, you've about manifestation, which is absolutely incredible. Um, you are continuing to expand and grow, and so, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see your future in 2, 3 years from now. Gosh,
Aw,
it just keeps expanding. It's a beautiful thing that you have now
that's
turned and helped others in different ways.
yeah. And you know what? And honestly, whenever I get into and I have some students that have taken my development course on the thing, and I don't know if they would remember this or not, but I always ask, and this came from you, like, why do you want to be a medium? Why do you want to do this?
Hmm.
And if they don't answer it, something along the lines of something along the lines of I want to help people. I want to help people feel better. I want to help, you know.
Hmm.
Then I have a separate conversation with them because that's why we're doing this to help
Yeah,
people,
it really
and
is.
you taught me that. So like I said, I truly appreciate that.
You
So,
know,
uh,
there's so many beautiful attributes to being a medium, but it's really a lot of work. Don't it sounds like it's all roses, but it's a lot of work.
yeah.
Robert Brown had once mentioned how there's many, many days when it's just lonely because all you're doing is you're giving an offering. You're reading for somebody, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
they're gone. You release the energy, you build your energy back up. Another person comes in. He can do this for hours. And
Yeah.
if it's on a weekend, this is a 2, 3 day weekend for him. He has no time for himself really.
Yeah.
he has breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then it's just downtime until the next day. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work. Doing
Yeah.
classes over a weekend, same thing. It's a lot of work for people. So
Yeah.
if you're going to go into this field, you got to understand it's not something you can just walk into. You have to put the effort in. You have to put the time in, which is again why I've been really impressed with you, Laura. You've done more than 110% of
Oh,
what has been asked of you and expected of you to really be a good polished medium.
yeah.
So it takes time.
Oh, you're gonna make me
Hmm.
cry. I mean, how often does your mentor tell you that stuff like that? So thank you.
So I gotta laugh. I gotta tell you a quick story. Just this past week, we've had some hellacious storms here in Southern California. We had a intro to it, so to speak, the weekend before, and I was outside going, I don't know what this Pineapple Express is going to be like, but they're really saying it's going to be bad. And this little storm just went through. I thought it was a lot of rain, but it was a little storm. And I'm looking down the cul-de-sac, which is where we live, and I see this rainbow. And then, of course, the rainbow is going right down over and onto Lori's house. I'm thinking, that's beautiful. How amazing is that? I mean,
Oh my
things
gosh.
happen for reasons, and I've taken a picture of it. I'm sorry I haven't shared it with you, but I wanted to
Oh my
share
god.
that with you now. And I felt better. I just
Yeah.
felt better, and I'm thinking, okay, there's a rainbow. It's at Lori's house. We're very, connected in lots of different ways. This is going to be okay. And we were very blessed. This Pineapple Express was horrible here in Southern California.
Yeah.
Um, it was no joke. There was the flooding, there was the rain, the wind, the mudslides, the rocks, the fruit. Hard to drive, but we were
Yeah.
okay. And I was just so blessed that I felt a message from Spirit that I drive an hour and a half going to work through the mountain into the desert every day, and I never stopped. And I had to go through all of this mess, but I felt okay just knowing that I wasn't alone in my car. I had
Yeah.
guides with me.
Yeah.
I was very alert, and then I felt hyper alert and hypersensitive
Mhm.
to reacting in a calm way to anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, all because of a rainbow over your
Yeah.
house. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. That is so
mhm.
awesome. But you know what's so cool about that is that, I mean, we can all take that, whether you're a medium or not, we can
Yep.
all take that as a sign of hope and a sign of it's all gonna be okay, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that. Thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that story. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's really amazing. Really amazing.
So
No, go ahead.
we're talking about mediumship and development. So while we're chatting, and I was, you know, talking a little bit more about you, I pulled two cards for you real quickly.
Oh boy.
And
Oh
again,
my
it
god.
comes it comes back to how do you interpret cards? You have to do it in a way that means something to you. So the first card I picked was the cave, which of course is, it could be very scary. It could be very, what do we do with this? Well, to me, all that is it's a way to reflect on our fears. Okay, it's a way to understand that our fears are real, but we have to get a hold on them and get a handle on them, and things are going to be okay. And so, as
Yeah,
we were talking about development circle, most people who go into these circles are very fearful. They don't want to take a chance. They don't want to have an opportunity to speak. They're scared.
yeah,
Rightly so. I felt the same feeling. It was very unnerving to go into a class and speak to somebody's relatives who are on the other side and not know for sure whether you're accurate or not. So those fears are real. But
yeah,
again, what we have to do is understand that we're being drawn in for a reason. We have the talent, we have the pull to go and at least take the chance to do this. And so, it's sort of like polishing up a diamond. You have to just do the work. And then
yeah,
the second card, which is amazing, it's very reflective of how we feel when we nail these openings and we nail these connections. It just feels really good. And it's interesting because it's a mirror looking, this beautiful person looking through at a mirror at themselves. And so again, you feel better when you and I want to reflect this on you, Lori. The
yeah,
way you have been able to successfully launch all of the work and effort in a focused way, all towards mediumship and all towards healing and all towards helping others. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Would if anybody would like us to pull cards for them, or if you'd like a reading, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to write down people's names this time, but let's see where it goes. Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
And that was just so beautiful what you just said,
Ah.
because it. Oh, Karen Quint. Hi, Karen. Karen, and then Cheyenne would like one too. Oh my gosh, and then we've got Melanie and Debbie. That's so cool. And Betty. Hi, Betty. Oh my gosh. So you know what? You have the side card. So Ed, you guys, is the one that turned me. If you ever watch me at all, you would know that I love these side cards. These are the be all end all as far as I'm concerned, right? Ed is the one that turned me on to these. So he was like, "Here, try these," and they were just amazing. So let's start with
sure.
Karen.
Okay, and the one who turned me on to these was Mama Ellie, and so again, we learn from each other.
Yeah.
We learn the good, the bad, the ugly, but most importantly, you have to just learn. Not everybody's an A student, not everybody's a B student, but you got to try. You got to really try to be there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, so why don't we shoot a card out for somebody? Laura,
Sure.
you pick. I don't
For
know these
Karen.
people.
Yeah, let's start with Karen.
Okay,
Karen
so
Quint.
Karen Quint?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, so when we do this, we have to focus our energy on who you're going to be giving the reading to. And so we're focusing our energy on Karen Quinn. And so we have to also trust that these things are going to be, as we say, they're going to work. So Karen, here we go. All right, so the first one, oh, that's very interesting. The first card I picked up was we call it the Beast. So now this is an interesting card because to me, it's something is stopping you from a path that you're going down. Something is blocking you. And so the way I like to look at this is, what we have to do is miniaturize the dragon in the path, make it more like a lizard. So it's just a lizard, it's scary. Okay, so something's going on in your life right now, but you got to put it in perspective. Your health is good, you've got a job, you may have kids, you may have a relationship. All right, lots of dynamics going on. So whatever is going on that's a little nervous or worrisome, or it may be an additive. I'm feeling it's an additive thing. Let's put things in perspective. Make it smaller, in other words. All right, so the next card I'm picking out is, of course, why wouldn't it be? Birth. So here's where we have an opportunity. It's sort of like the doors. We have an opportunity for growth. And so what you want to do is, no, not what you want to do. What I feel that you have already done is you've already planted seeds in some place and you're just waiting for them to grow. So this is where patience comes into play. Not always our friend, but there's reasons why there's patience involved. It's because we have to learn patience. We have to relearn patience sometimes. And so I feel that you've planted a seed, it's already growing, and you just have to be patient, allow things to come to fruition. I'm going to pull one more card for you, dear. Of course. This is called the Never card. Okay, so there's an interesting thing about these birds. They have a memory, they know who we are. They can be our friend or foe. So in other words, you have a way to connect with spirit. You already have a connection with energy that's coming from the other side, and they have a relationship with you, okay? You feel them, they feel you. So trust that it's going to be okay. Trust that those that have allowed themselves to cross over and return back home, I'd like to say, they haven't gone. They're still with you, dear. Okay. Thanks.
Oof. That is awesome. And let me just tell you, Karen, I pulled a card for you too. And it's so interesting because it just goes right with what Ed was saying. It's the ocean card, and then it says ebb and flow. Okay. So whenever I get this card for you, Karen, I keep thinking you just gotta like understand that there's gonna be dips and ups, downs and ups, downs and ups, downs and ups, and just ride the wave, just ride the wave and know that when things aren't going so great, they're eventually gonna get good again. We just have to believe, we have to hope, we have to, really believe that that's so and it's interesting
Yeah.
because it kind of goes along exactly with what Ed was saying. I just love that.
Mhm.
Love that. I love when we do the double connection there like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So Lori, if I may reach out to somebody who's on here, would
Sure.
you be okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so there is a Shannon Luden Pfeiffer. Okay, so why don't we give a reading for her now? Let's be open. Shannon, I know from work. Shannon, I used to work with, but we
Oh,
have now since gone in different ways. She's got a different location where she's working, and I haven't seen her in years. So, so what do I know? I know automatically that she's a very big dog person. So I'd like to put that out there. I also know that she's had losses in her family. Her father has passed, so Shannon, I know that these are things I know, but I also know that there's still a missing, there's still a longing. It could be years. It doesn't really matter. It's sometimes like yesterday. Um, so I also want to pull a card for you, my friend. Oh, if it's got to be fate. It's sort of like
yeah.
the same thing. Shannon, we
Oh,
got to put things in perspective, both at
yeah.
work and at home. And I want to suggest both, not just at work, not just at home, but in life. Okay. Keep things in perspective. Life is fast, life doesn't slow down, and it doesn't wait for you. You have to allow it to just happen and allow it to be. So here's what I'd like to
Mhm.
also offer. Meditation sometimes is good for people and it's good for the soul. And so when you sit calmly, allow yourself to feel the energy of your father and especially those beautiful children that you have in spirit around you. Now, when I say children, I don't want to give this person animals, dogs. They're just absolutely phenomenal around you, my friend. Okay, and they've never left you. And I need to put that out there right away.
That is awesome. You
Okay,
gonna pull another one?
so yeah, I'm going to pull one more card for her. So Shannon, I'm going to give this one to you also. This is doors. This is called the the puzzle. And so there's two ways to look at this. One, of course, is the doors are there for an opening or for opportunities. But to me, I want to focus on the words, the puzzle. To me, the puzzle is you're putting pieces together. You're creating something. And so this is life that you are creating, both in home, in relationships, and in friendships, and with your significant other, your husband. So now every day something is going to be put together. Every day is meant to be experienced, and so this is what we're creating for you. We're creating a giant, beautiful puzzle called you. And I want you to realize that every day you have an opportunity to put a puzzle piece of your life in together till from birth till the day we go home back to source, God, whomever you like to refer to it. Um, but you're creating your puzzle and you're putting it together in a very beautiful way. And I want you to remember and to compliment yourself every day on how important life is and what a blessing life is and what a gift life is, because those people who have crossed before you, they're beautiful people, they're strong people, they had senses of your father had a sense of humor. He was a strong person, a strong man. He was a good man. These are characteristics that you've got also. You're a beautiful person. You got a beautiful soul. Smile, shine, allow your energy to come out, and allow people to share who you are. And you're creating this beautiful puzzle. So when we one day do our life review on the other side, you want to go, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that. And you want to be happy about these things. Okay, my friend? All
Oh
yours.
my gosh.
All
Oh,
right, Laura.
amazing.
Who's next?
And I pulled a card for Shannon as well. And
Hmm.
I got the manifestation card, ironically. um, this is about, and I'm going to read to you what it says. Look how beautiful that is. What I got. Well, let me tell you what this says. It says, your dreams have untold energy. Open the door and let them live. I love that, right? Desire and belief are your power. So what I'm getting from that is that uh it it's time for you just to allow allow your life to happen. Don't go, and it's interesting because it's kind of a similar message that we had for Karen, in that, you got to, like, there's going to be ups and downs and all that stuff, but this makes me feel like that you're holding a lot in, like you're holding a lot here close by, right? And so I want you to just open your heart and just allow the joy to come in, allow the fun to come in, allow the peace in, just allow it, and it will be yours, you know? So really cool. And then so Cheyenne thought that this message was for her. And I want to tell you guys something. And I know that Ed will agree with me on this. Just because we're reading somebody else, if you feel like that message is for you, you need to take it, because clearly we're not going to get to everybody that wants a reading, right? So Spirit has this crazy way of giving you a reading, even if we're not actually speaking to you. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. And so Cheyenne, if you felt like it sounded similar through my kids, right? So it sounded similar, like that's something that she was thinking about. So you never know. So spirit works in crazy ways. So it's really kind of interesting, right? Really, really
Hmm.
cool. Um, Ed, do you know? And this is a question I don't know that I know the answer to, but do you work with cards a lot? I know you have a lot of decks, and we've played with them for years, right? But do you enjoy using them, or like what is your thought process on using
Okay,
oracle
so
cards?
that's an excellent question. So cards are a way to allow yourself to focus. It's sort of
Hmm.
like when you go to visit a cemetery and you want to say, God, I missed you, Mom. I missed you, Father. I missed your dad. And you just sit there and put flowers and pray. It's a focus, and it gives you time away from everybody. So with me, with cards, it's sort of like jump starts things. It
Hmm.
jump starts the psychic connections, and it launches you into
Yeah.
a real good quick way to help others in finding direction and what sometimes they have questions over. Um,
Yeah.
like you'd mentioned, there's different cards, lots of different decks. If you are like Laurie and I have, I don't know, 20, 30 decks, and for different opportunity, for different opportunities, I'll pull out different cards. I mean, different decks, and I'll use that one. You're kind of drawn to the different decks. And,
Yeah.
and and again, for others, you just put aside and you never open again. And so it's really something that it's very personal.
Yeah.
I know one person who uses one deck, never again will touch another deck, and they don't allow anybody to touch their cards
Oh,
because
right.
they've got
Yeah.
so much beautiful energy of their own on it, and it
Yeah.
works for them. And so
Yeah.
you got to figure out what works for you,
Yeah.
and make it happen.
Yeah.
It's just make it happen. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Melanie Sharp would like a reading. So how do you feel about that?
A reading or a card, it
A
doesn't matter,
card,
does it?
or yeah, just yeah, let's a card, whatever you feel drawn to, actually. I'm sure
Okay.
she would say.
um okay, that's fine. So again, Melanie Sharp.
And Galatians says, I used to read cards, but I've been dreaming a lot, and my dreams actually come to fruition. That's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
amazing. That's awesome.
All right, so the first card I'm going to pull for Melanie is the Sage. Okay.
Melanie Sharp, this is for you. Hope you're
Okay,
listening.
so the sage to me is somebody with a lot of knowledge, somebody who has a way to sit down and really think things through. And also, what's interesting about this one is this person is alone and writing in a book. And so, what I want to suggest with this one is alone time. Not so much that you need alone time, but I would like to suggest that you want to get out of this alone time. Okay, you've got a lot of things to offer. You've got a lot of things on your mind, and you need to start reacting, start taking advantage of opportunities and or creating your own opportunities. So get out there more. Follows, okay, the tree. Okay, so with the tree, it is the roots that I'm focusing on right now. Your roots are deep, your roots are strong, and so you have more than enough opportunity and or education and background
Mhm.
to take advantage of things. So get out there and do things. Don't just sit down and feel comfortable. This is very interesting, Lord. I do feel that this person here has a lot of energy and a lot of things to give, and so you're going to feel drained at times, but you're going to find energy from somewhere. So you've got a lot of energy. Take care of your health. Take care of your the way you eat, the way you sleep, and you're never going to run out. It's like ADHD on hyperdrive. You've got a lot to offer. You've got a keep an eye on things. I'm not suggesting that you don't. I'm suggesting that you have done the work to keep healthy, stay healthy. You've done the work to stay active. You've done the work to communicate. Um, Now what you have to do is start opening doors and interesting term, exploding open and offering things. So those are the two cards I'd like to offer to you. Don't
Exploding
sit back.
open. Oh my gosh, I love that. Exploding open. Oh my gosh. Melanie, that is like so good for you. I hope that you understood all of that. I hope that that made sense to you. The card that I pulled out for you, Melanie, it's the integrity card. Okay, but and it's not about what you think it might be about, right? Let me read this to you. Drop the thing, and I think you've gotten this card before. If I want to say the truth, Melanie, this is kind of interesting. Drop the things that offend your soul. Embrace your truth, right? And then it says, it's your life. Let no one live it for you. Okay. It's your life. It's like that. And it's last Thursday, I was doing my live on Insight Timer, and I had played It's Your Life by John Bon Jovi. And it became like this, oh my gosh, after that, we just kept talking about it. It's your life. You get to choose what you do. So live your truth, So kind of interesting. So I love that. That's pretty awesome. So
Lori,
yeah.
just to compliment on that, I also feel a spirit energy with Melanie. Feels like I'm definitely family, mother like, but I'm also feeling like she was a friend. So this is a mother who would have been close to you as a friend, um, and a very calming influence on you. I also feel that she was very gracious, just very elegant, um,
Mhm.
very real. She's just a mom's mama. This person is like a mom's mama, I want to suggest. Good to be around, very comforting. She was listened to, listened, a good listener. Um, didn't offer too much advice, more of a listener. And if she offered advice, it was more to point things out. So this is a person who also allowed you to figure things out, which is kind of unique. And
Mhm.
you don't find that often nowadays. Everybody wants to tell you what to do. Everybody wants to direct you on what to do, good, bad, and indifferent. Now this one allowed you to figure things out yourself. So you got a beautiful person on the other side with you now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Melanie, I hope you understood that. I'm not going to, just in case you ever give her a reading again, I'm not going to tell you, but that I hope that, boy, Melanie, I hope you heard all that, because
Okay.
that was pretty cool yeah. So Anyway, that was pretty cool. Um, who was the other person? Wait, there was somebody. Oh, Debbie. Debbie was wanting a reading, and then we've got Dose of Sunshine.
Oh, what a cool
So
name.
there's Debbie. Hopefully Debbie is still here. Debbie, are you still here? Hopefully you're still here.
Mhm.
Um,
So this is interesting. I'm looking at this. I dreamt of my ex last night. Haven't
oh,
seen or spoken in 20 years. I was in a coffin.
oh
I,
wow,
you
she was
know,
in a.
well, to me, that is somebody. Okay, so whenever you spend some time and effort in a relationship, and this is just me speaking, whenever you're gonna invest time and effort, and this is to me a stitch on your heart. So you fall in love with somebody, it's just these beautiful connections to your heart. They never go, they just don't disappear. So it's been 20 years, it could have been 10 years, it may have been 30 years. You've dreamt of them in a coffin. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have passed away. What to me it means is, um, you know, it's like it's over. It's really over. It's sad. It's really sad because,
Mhm.
how many times can we say, oh, that was a beautiful relationship, that was a bad relationship, but we've always learned something from these relationships. And if it wasn't for some of the things that happened in my life, I never would have met this beautiful person that I'm married to now and have had all these beautiful kids. And so things happen for a reason. And one last thing I want to comment on is, don't think too much about 20 years ago, what happened in the past, because, I know it's easy to, of course, da-da, put it in perspective, put it in perspective. Things happen for a reason. Um, you, you know, again, the relationship was long and hard, and it was strong, and then I feel that it just kind of deteriorated, and it just disappeared. um, that's kind of how life happens sometimes. It just happens so quickly. So just enjoy the time that we've got now. Where did 20 years go? What happened?
Yeah,
It's Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I think people are having a hard time figuring out who you're reading, so I thought I'd put
Okay.
it up
Good.
there right
Good.
now.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's technical on my end.
Okay. Good. Good.
So Debbie would like a reading. So Debbie
Debbie.
is here. So I put Debbie. Okay, so now I put it on the screen so that Debbie, so that Debbie knows.
See. Okay. So didn't we just read Debbie?
No, that was Galatians that you just read.
Okay.
That was the one that they dreamed about their ex.
Yes, but the lady before that. Who was the lady
No,
before
that was
that?
Melanie. That was Melanie with the
Melanie.
mom.
Okay. There you
Yeah,
go. There you go.
yeah.
Debbie. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
sorry.
unfortunately, the way this kind of works is that he can see Facebook and YouTube, but he can't see Instagram. I'm the only one that can see
Mhm.
Instagram, so sorry about that, you guys.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha. Alrighty, so let's launch into a reading for Debbie. Okay, so the first card I just picked for Debbie was the Union card. Okay,
oh,
and so again, there's different ways to look at things, and it's very interesting because they have the two beautiful waterfalls coming down and joining into one. But what I'm focusing on now is the chalice, and so the chalice to me is a reminder of the Eucharist and the church. And so what I want to focus on here is your connections. Okay, your connection in the spirit world with higher selves, not just those that have crossed over, but those that have been guides to you. And I want to go up one more, those that are the higher plane for you. Okay. And so I feel that you have been reaching out to them and they have been guiding you. And it's important to understand that these thoughts and ideas that are coming to you are from higher self. Okay. We want to call them guides sometimes. That's fine. We want to call them angels, archangels. That's fine too. The important thing is to acknowledge that you're getting led. Okay, another. Okay, so whenever you get a card, you have to use it.
yeah.
Okay, so this is in. I'm sorry. This is interesting because this card can be read in so many different ways. And
Mhm.
again, what I'd like to do is to um, I don't want to harp on the term the liar. What I want to harp on the term is the happy face and the sad face, the happy face and the sad face. And
Mm.
so life creates opportunities, but they also create obstacles. And so you put on a happy face when it's when you're being overcharged, and you put on the sad face when you're by yourself. Sometimes we just what was that? That there was a movie out where the head flipped. Tick, 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 good. You know, the happy face and the sad face. And it's happening so fast sometimes. And so all I want to suggest here is in this reading is that don't be thrown. Don't be thrown by things that are coming at you fast and heavy. This is when you kind of, what was that word, Lori? Patience. This is when you kind of take a deep breath and you sit back and you go, all right, just need a few minutes to think about this,
Yeah.
and allow yourself to breathe, release the energy, get the answer from here, your solar plexus and your heart. This is where it's most important, your heart energy here, and then you transfer that energy down here to your solar plexus, and you go, okay, is this real? Does this make sense, or am I making
Mhm.
this up? Am I overreacting? And
Yeah.
you're so there's two things here. Life is being thrown at you, lots of things going on. Just take a deep breath, allow yourself to slow down, and remember, you've got these beautiful connections with your higher self and with those that are we call angels and archangels. Okay, allow that energy to come to you and to help you. So we do that through meditation, we do that through prayer, we can walk, get quiet, but just allow yourself to ask and then to receive. That's kind of where I'm going with this. Ask and receive, and you'll get answers.
Awesome. That is awesome. So I don't know if you saw in the comments, but dear Dr. Paulette Molina is here with us. Hi,
Oh my goodness.
Paulette.
Hello, Paulette.
Yay. I'm so excited. Okay, so over on this side, Sarah Mitnick, are you still here? Hopefully she's still here. I don't know if we're even still live, to be honest, on Instagram because it comes in, it goes out. I don't know what's going on. Um,
Okay.
so, you know what? I don't know that she's still here with us. So let's
Okay.
go. I'll see if she's still here. We'll see if she comments back.
Okay.
Um, let's go with Betty. Is Betty still here? So we'll put Betty up. Hi, Betty. Betty is so sweet. Betty is in Germany and she is up very late, I think, right now, or up very early, one of the two.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
do you want to go for you go first with Betty, and then I'm going to pull a card for her.
Okay.
And you're next,
What's in,
Cheyenne. Go ahead.
what's interesting with Betty, I feel an older soul with Betty, but I also feel a child energy around Betty, or a younger soul around Betty. So just if these are when it becomes a little more difficult, because it could have been a child, a
Mhm.
loss of a child, or a of somebody you knew as a child. So I just want to suggest that when we lose a child, it's a part of us that is absolutely missing. But in things that we don't think about is that they continue to be with us and they continue to grow and to learn in the spirit world as we here are continuing to learn and to grow in the earth plane. And so where I'm going with this is no longer a child. This is like a young person, and now this is an older person. I'm seeing time is irrelevant to the other side. It happens so much faster than us, and they can experience so many more things than we can in this short life. And so, what I'm suggesting here now is this person who has been taken back home at a younger age is now almost like a mentor and helper to you as they have aged and grown back into their self in the spirit world. You know, um,
Mm.
oftentimes we look at reincarnation as an oddity or an Eastern thing, but it's a world thing. You know, I don't lay any beliefs of mine on others. That's for you to learn and to grow. But to me, reincarnations are real, and we come into these earth plane bodies to learn and to grow. So with that said, this person has now gone back into their spirit self with all of the many things that they have learned and grown, and they're there now helping you to interesting use of words, make it through life. Okay,
Mm,
just to make it through life. So,
yeah.
it, so what I'm also getting here is a message is get your boots. How do they say? Tighten your boots up tight because we're off. We're going to be off and launching forward. So, here what I'm suggesting as a message is you're going to have some good adventures in your life, and you're going to be taken off, and you're going to have some opportunities here that are going to be taking you in different directions. And so get ready for the ride. Is what I'm saying.
Ooh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. And Betty, I want to tell you, I pulled a card for you, and I pulled the Mercy card. And what this says is, this is really interesting. It says, let compassion fill your world, offer kindness to all living things. This is the most important part. What you give, you also receive. So, and what I'm getting from this, for you, Betty, is that it's not so much about you trying to be nicer to the world or people or whatever, but I feel like that this card is talking about you being more compassionate with yourself. Like, you're hard on yourself, and this is sort of like Ed was talking a little bit about this, right? It's like you're hard on yourself, and you have high expectations for yourself, but this card is saying, maybe just like, it's okay. Allow yourself to have compassion for yourself. Okay. So I really wanted to say that felt really, really strong. So that's why I was like, ooh, I gotta make sure we tell her this, so Betty, much
So
love to you.
yeah,
Much
so
love.
Lori, I picked a card real quick also, and this one is
Oh,
called the work card. And
oh,
again, to me, this work card is complications. One one wheel turns another wheel, and everything is tied in. Everything is tightly wound up and coordinated.
yeah.
And again, here's where I'm going to suggest that we need to sort of like take the gears apart sometimes, and we need to disengage. There you go. Disengage the wheels so that we just slow time down. So Betty, to me, life is very complicated, and we tend to overthink things, and we tend to overcomplicate them. And so
Yeah.
what I'm suggesting here is a reframe. Allow
Mm.
yourself time to just kind of catch your breath and to refocus. And so that's all I was going to suggest with that one.
Oh, that's
Okay.
beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Reframe. I love that. I love that. Love that. So, okay. So thank you, Betty, for getting up so early. That's very exciting. Okay. So let's do one more if we can. Let's do Cheyenne because she was very excited and would like a reading. Do you
Okay.
want me to go first this time? I feel bad. You've been like
Sure.
doing all.
Um,
You've been going
all
first
you,
all the time, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, do you need a break?" It's you guys. It's fun to do card readings, but when you're doing them, bing, ba boom, ba doom, da doom, sometimes it's like, "Whoa, okay," kind of thing. Okay. So Cheyenne, this is for you. Okay, hold on. Sorry here. Ooh. Ooh, I love this card. This is my Earth Magic deck, by the way. And I got the ceremony, and then it says invocation. And if you look at what she's doing there, okay. Cheyenne, you're welcome, Betty. What I'm getting for you about this, Cheyenne, is that I feel like, and this doesn't really have too much to do with like ceremony per se, but I feel like that spirit is really, really wanting you to spend some more time in meditation. Okay. I don't know if you meditate now, But I think that what they're asking you to do is to meditate. If you don't, spend some time, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a big dramatic meditation. Maybe just spending some time by yourself, like away from the machines, away from the phone, away from the computer, away from all of that, and just spending some time with yourself. I'm getting a really strong feeling that of overwhelm for you. I feel like you might be a little overwhelmed with some stuff going on in your life right now. And Yeah, okay. So she says, I need to learn to, could definitely use it right now. So, you know what? Take it easy, as far as like, it doesn't have to be like this big dramatic meditation, right? Just go maybe take a walk or go sit outside by yourself for a few minutes. 4 kids. She's got 4 kids. So there you go. Just spend it, even just less than 5 minutes by yourself, away from phone, away from computer. If you can take a quick walk, even if it's just in the backyard, do something like that. I feel like that, like, spirit really wants you to start to center yourself, balance. I'm getting a sense of that. So, go ahead, Ed. Were you getting something?
Oh, absolutely. So, so Cheyenne, I feel like there's a woman who was close to you who has passed. I do feel that it was a chest issue, and it looks to me like cancer, um, possibly breast cancer. And so, where I'm going with this one is, it's just a reminder. Sometimes we get a little too busy, and we forget sometimes that what's important and what's not important. And
Mhm.
next thing you know, your situations has changed, your life has changed. As you'd mentioned, you have 4 kids. Yes, that's going to absolutely keep you busy. And if you're
Yeah.
working, you were going to add that to the equation. And so just a subtle, I'm sorry, not so subtle reminder that sometimes we have to unload ourselves with all of the stuff that we've done. We kind of have to, um, remind ourselves to slow down, just to slow down and to make
Mhm.
that phone call that you have been putting off because you're too busy, or go someplace that you have meant to go to, but you have been too busy. Okay, um, life happens so quickly, and like we had mentioned on a previous reading, this person had a dream of somebody who, you know, they had known 20 years ago. Where does that time go? It goes, and time is very
Mhm.
relevant to us here. And before you know it, it's just happening, and we don't realize it until we start looking at our kids, and they're older, and they're older again, and now they're in high school, and now they're in college, and then you start realizing, whoa, what happened to me? What happened to my life? In other words, and so just a reminder that from this beautiful soul that's in spirit right now, that give yourself a big hug, give those kids a big hug, and just find time for yourself. As Laurie so beautifully and eloquently mentioned, go out for a walk, catch the wind in your hair, go and dance in the rain, go look at something that's different, learn, do something different. Always learn, always try to learn and experience things. Okay, much
Yeah.
love from this person to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Cheyenne. And Cheyenne says definitely makes sense. Not sure about the breast cancer unless one of my grandmas or great grandma had it. So,
Mhm.
but I mean, that was a really cool reading, actually. Because and honestly, I feel like it could be relevant for just about anybody. Taking time for yourself, even if it's just a few minutes, it can change. Like if you just walked outside and just sat there for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, it can change the trajectory of your entire day, you
Yes.
know? And so I think that that's a really great message for everybody. So
Yeah.
what a great way
So
to end this. I
yeah.
mean, I love that. That's great.
So,
So
Laurie, I just want to mention, I had mentioned chest cancer, chest issue, and it felt like cancer. And with a woman, it's oftentimes breast cancer. So, just for
okay.
clarification.
Yeah, right. And you know
But
what? It may be a lot of times, back then
didn't
we
know.
had there was breast cancer back great
Yeah,
grandparents and grandparents, and it wasn't
right.
detected back then. So who
Yeah.
knows? That would be the whole point. So interesting. If it comes up often for me, but really resonates right now. So okay. and she appreciates the reading. Thank you, Cheyenne. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh, Ed, this was so fun. Oh my gosh. And you were like, that was great. You were like rocking it. You
Mm.
were like
Oh,
one thing after another. That was fantastic.
well, again,
It's
Lori,
been a
thank you for the beautiful opportunity to connect, and again, these beautiful people who are calling in. I hope they can take some of these messages that we've got given to
yeah,
one or two, and run with every one of these messages in a different way. Reframe, relax, take
yeah,
care of your health, connect with your higher source, connect with God.
yeah,
Remember what's important. Give those kids a hug. Life goes quick. Life goes quick.
yeah.
All
It
right.
sure
Thank you
does.
again, Lori, and thank you all for
Thank
allowing me.
you. Of course, absolutely. Thanks for being here, Ed. And until next week, everybody, namaste.